He's not a scrub. He can play. In New Orleans, with Zion, with Lonzo, they championship contenders.
I think Lonzo Ball out of the spotlight in LA with normal size expectations and a team that fits his unique skill set. I think Lonzo takes a step forward.
I love the way Lonzo plays. He's unselfish. He moves the ball. He, to me, thrives under pressure.
Lonzo Ball might be the next Steph Curry with a 40-inch vertical leap. All right, guys, I know what you're saying. I know what you're thinking. Is he really doing this again? Has Mike not learned? Or maybe he's delusional. Maybe he really does think Lonzo Ball is Steph Curry with a 40-inch vertical. In fact, if you didn't notice, at one point I changed the title to 90-inch vertical because maybe that is how delusional I am. But for real, what's up, guys? Mike here, and of course, I don't think Lonzo Ball is ever going to be as good a shooter as Steph Curry is. I don't think any NBA player ever is as good a shooter as Steph Curry is. So yeah, that would be some pretty tough shoes to fill. Maybe I shouldn't have gone crazy with that original title, but we've all laughed at it a lot, so I guess good things came out. Anyway, for today's video, we are going to be looking at Lonzo and specifically, of course, his jump shot, but we are going to dive much deeper than that. I am going to explain to you why Lonzo Ball still very much has a chance to be an NBA All-Star or better. I'm going to tell you the real reason that he has not been succeeding in the NBA, and no, it is not his three-point jump shot. That is, of course, not helped, but that is not the biggest reason. And then, at some point in the video, oh wait, it's right now, I'm gonna say I am streaming on Twitch right now. I am live at twitch.tv/Mike Korzemba. I'm currently playing NBA 2K20. I am waiting for you guys to come into the stream and, roast me. Come roast me. If you watch this video and you think I'm an idiot, come tell me. If you like this video, also, come hang by the stream because it has been a lot of fun. I've loved streaming. So if you are watching this video, click the link in the description to twitch.tv/Mike Korzemba. Come hang. It's always a good time. Speaking of good times, I guess, kind of a weird transition, but yeah, let's jump into this video. Lonzo, you're finally free. And I say that because what we need to remember about Lonzo Ball is that at the end of the day, the man is incredibly talented. You don't win the state championship after going undefeated your senior year in high school if you're not talented. You aren't a first-team All-American if you aren't talented. You aren't someone whose passing ability scouts compared to Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson. If you aren't, you get. Lonzo Ball has been under a glaring spotlight since his senior year of high school, and every step of the way until the NBA, he has managed to surpass expectations. In fact, even in the NBA, at least in Summer League, he was the Summer League MVP. This is someone who, before he played for the Lakers, was a man who we have watched countless hours of game tape of. But for whatever reason, after 2 subpar seasons, people have not only begun to sleep on Lonzo Ball, but they have begun to hate. And to anyone overreacting right now, to the people who are saying that Lonzo is beyond saving because of his jump shot or whatever, let's take a quick look at Gary Payton and Steve Nash, 2 future Hall of Famers who, in their first 2 seasons, put up very, very comparable stats to Lonzo. Steve Nash is a 2-time MVP, and he didn't make his first All-Star game until his 6th season at the age of 27. So let's just say that Lonzo, a man who, again, at one point was considered to be a future star in this league, still very much has a chance to become an All-Star or even better. And if you are still not convinced, in the 2019 All-Star game, 14 of the 23 players who played made their first All-Star game in their 4th season or later. And by the way, Steph Curry made his first All-Star game in his 5th season. Now, he's a 2-time MVP, and he doesn't even have a 40-inch vertical. Okay, that's the only joke. I'm not saying Lonzo is going to become an MVP. I'm not saying he's going to make that huge of a jump. What I am saying though is don't give up on him. Some players take longer to develop. Some players take longer to adjust their games to the NBA. If you've got the talent, if you've got that high of a basketball IQ, and if you have that good of a work ethic, I have all the faith in the world that you're gonna make it. And so I have confidence in Lonzo Ball. Which brings us to what I have always believed was his biggest problem, his confidence. A broken 3-point jump shot just does not explain what exactly happened to Lonzo in his first 2 seasons. What does explain everything though is Lonzo's lack of confidence at the NBA level. Going to get more into that later on in this video. For now though, I just want to focus on that one word, confidence. If you are not confident, you cannot be an NBA basketball player. It is that simple. You have to be able to miss 10 jump shots, get past the ball for a wide open 11th, airball it, and still have faith that you're gonna make the 12th. That example, aside from the airball, was not at all how Lonzo played or carried carried himself in his first 2 seasons. And the thing is, he knows this. At the Pelicans media day this year, he was quoted as saying this when asked about his jump shot: "I think it's just confidence. I've been able to shoot my whole life, honestly." And let's be honest right now, guys, the Los Angeles Lakers were a horrible team for Lonzo to be on. They were a franchise that had no real identity because on the one hand, their roster was full of young players with talent, but on the other, they kind of had a guy named LeBron James, aka one of the greatest players of all time, which meant that they needed to win now. That type of environment immediately creates dysfunction for younger players. Obviously, it's best if young players can learn through their mistakes and not get yanked out of the game when they make them. Playing on a LeBron team, that really is just not the case. There's a reason why a lot of those Cavs teams had an average age that was eerily similar to a retirement home. On top of this, with the Lakers, Lonzo was basically set up to fail. I don't want this to sound like an excuse, but we just saw it with D'Angelo Russell. Literally, D'Angelo Russell just left the Lakers and became an all-star. I bring this up because being that young while also starting for the Los Angeles Lakers at point guard is pretty intimidating. Mix in that whole NBA legend Magic Johnson saying that one day hang from the rafters, and I don't think we can even imagine how much pressure this man was under. Then you throw in the fact that in his second season, he knew he was gonna be traded. In fact, on Woj's podcast, Lonzo himself actually said that around last year's All-Star break, he had a pretty good feeling he was going to be traded. And consider the fact that playing with LeBron James, someone who needs the ball in his hands all of the time, something that Lonzo, as a pure point guard who can't really shoot, kind of needs. And I think we have enough explanations at this point as to why Lonzo did not succeed for the Lakers. In New Orleans, though, everything has changed, and we are going to watch as that confidence comes back. I know I am hardly the first person to suggest that this is a new city, so it's a fresh start, but that is simply a true statement. The city of New Orleans is nothing like Los Angeles. They have open container laws. The Pelicans also do not play under the bright lights of LA, and do not stare up at the list of Laker greats every single time they take the court. What's even better for Lonzo is that he is away from LeBron. I don't want to make that sound like I'm hating on LeBron, but if you're a 20-year-old who's supposed to be the savior of the Lakers and you're already struggling, do you really need LeBron shading you during Taco Tuesdays on Instagram? You don't, and so now in New Orleans, we have young players such as Lonzo, Zion, Brandon Ingram, Josh Hart. All of these guys can make mistakes together, learn from those mistakes, and then grow together as players. And I don't think I need to go too into detail here with the new pairing of Zion and Lonzo, but I mean, come on. These guys were made for each other. We literally now have one of the most athletic and vicious dunkers we have ever seen, paired up with, again, a player who was once seen as the next Magic Johnson because his passing is that good. I cannot wait to see New Orleans battle for a playoff spot this year, and by the way, with veterans such as Drew Holiday, Derek Favors, and JJ Redick, that is what this team's goal is going to be. JJ even told Zion, "You better not mess up my streak," because currently JJ is 13 for 13 in playoff appearances. Personally, I love this for Lonzo because the pressure to win a championship is not there. Instead, the desire to win basketball games in general and just to compete night in and night out will always be there. This is not a situation where the young talent on the roster is going to get used to losing a ton. Cough, free Devin Booker, cough. No, they are going to seriously push some of the better teams in this league on any given night. That to me is awesome, and I also love that Lonzo now has 2 veteran guards in Drew Holiday and JJ Redick to help him out. I think Lonzo is really going to benefit a ton from their advice. What's more, they both have been quoted as saying they want to help make the young players better. That is so key, and it's incredible because it just shows that these young players are going to be developing in the right environment. At this point though, I get it. I'm only praising Lonzo, so let's get into his flaws as a player. Last season, Lonzo made a subpar but not horrible 32.9% of his threes on 4.8 attempts per game. Now, of course, in order to be considered a good shooter, Zone needs to get that percentage up, but it's not that bad of a shooting percentage. And based on the fact that Lonzo also connects on around the same percentage of catch and shoot threes when compared to threes he takes off the dribble, well, we can see that the problem everyone is concerned about here really is not Lonzo's main problem at all. Looking at these numbers from Basketball Reference, however, Lonzo's biggest problems stare us right in the face. As from a combined 3 to 22 feet, Lonzo only took 87 shots and made just 30% of those shots. Yikes. The man took 87 mid-range shots, 141 shots at the rim, and 228 three-pointers to go along with only 20 made free throws the entire year. Less than one free throw made a game. Immediately, this screams at us that if anything, Lonzo's three-point percentage was lower than it should have been because it was the only jump shot he really could take at this level. Once the man got past the three-point line, he was basically lost. So when I looked into Lonzo's game, this is what concerned me. What makes me feel better about all of this, though, is that a lot of this can be chalked up to confidence. If you're not confident, you're not going to be looking to attack, you're not going to be drawing fouls, you're going to be short-arming shots. It's really that simple. Also, Lonzo has been quoted non-stop as saying that he has really worked to improve his strength. That is very key to me. Not only will this help him on the defensive end, where he is already a pretty good to very good defender, but once you add that muscle, you can get to the rim. You can draw fouls, you can body defenders. That is so important here because while we are going to get into his jump shot and how it is being fixed, at this moment in time, I don't see it being fully fixed for a few years, which means the mid-range jumper is going to be a little sketchy. This is because Lonzo's form in general just makes it hard to pull up and take mid-range jumpers, something that is a huge red flag, I understand. But again, I trust in the man's work ethic, I trust in his new strength, I trust in, well, it's at this point in the video where we are now going to do it. We're going to talk about the jump shot. The one part of Lonzo's game everyone is the most interested in. So let's break this down. To start here, let's listen to a quote from Pelicans head coach Alvin Gentry, who said, "He's worked his butt off. I think Lonzo's shooting the ball well, and I told him the major part of his thing is his confidence and consistency." Thank you, Alvin. Those words fit pretty well. And as for Lonzo, he himself has said, "I've been working on it being his jump shot, all summer. As soon as I could get back on the court, trying to get it on the right side." And the thing is, we can see that Lonzo is actually working hard to improve his jumper. This is not just talk. This is not a simple Twitter video where he makes 3 3-pointers and suddenly he's Steph Curry. I'm not even gonna say it. Instead, we are going to look at this video breaking down Lonzo's form. Shout out to Laker Film Room for posting this video. And the biggest problem is right here. Lonzo used to bring his right shoulder forward when preparing to shoot. This created a massive problem when he shot from the left, as he would have to swing the ball across his body before taking a jump shot. I don't think we need to even go any further than that. It's pretty clear why that does not work, and it's very clear why that does not work when you try to stop and pull up for a mid-range jumper. Now though, Lonzo has been following Pelicans assistant coach Fred Vinson's advice to simply bring the ball straight up and use his legs to get more power. Vinson is known as a great shooting coach, most notably turning Tyreke Evans around from a man who in his first season with the Pelicans made just 22% of his threes on 1.3 attempts to a player who by year 3 with New Orleans was making 39% of his threes on 3.4 attempts. To me, this tells us two things. One, that Lonzo is in the right hands here, and with the work ethic he's been showing everyone, there's no reason to think that he won't turn things around. With that said, two, we also need to keep in mind that this is not an overnight type of deal. Fixing a jump shot that's been the same for over a decade is going to take work. However, I really do think we will see some serious progress this year, and I think as New Orleans and Lonzo himself continue to grow, we're going to look back and laugh at the idea that Lonzo Ball would not be a great player in the NBA. Or maybe we'll just laugh at my first video. But I am banking on Lonzo. Do not let me down, please. Alright guys, and there we have it. I've put myself out there again. I made a Lonzo Ball Steph Curry comparison once, and I think that's gonna go down on my tombstone. I think that's my meme forever. However, this was my redemption. Lonzo, I believe in you. I know you're watching this. Or maybe not. Does he know about the Steph Curry 40-inch vertical meme? He's gotta, right? whatever. I'm streaming on Twitch right now, NBA 2K20, twitch.tv/Mike Korzemba. Come hang. If you're new to the channel, of course, make sure to subscribe because it's the NBA season and we're about to kill it. I have so many ideas planned. I have so many videos that are already made that are waiting to be posted because, you know, let's get that NBA interest up. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a video. And if you're already subscribed, thank you so much for supporting me. You're awesome. We all know. As always, have an awesome day and cue that music. By the way, if you're still here while the music is cued, here are 2 videos I think you are going to love watching. All you have to do is just click on either one of them on the screen right here. And other than that, guys, again, have a great day and peace.